Do you know the national anthem of Boston is Sweet Caroline by Mr. Neil Diamond?
I told Evan Williams that the Caroline's Comedy Club was a Neil Diamond themed comedy club. And that's why there's like diamonds behind the stage. And he was like, shut up, dude. Really? I was like, yeah, man. And he was like, all right. He like believed me. And I told him I was kidding and he got very angry.
It is weird when people believe a dumb troll.
Oh yeah, when I was like 20, I had on my Facebook page, it said I was like a widower, and there was these two dumbass girls. This girl Eva, she was like, "Hey, do you mind if I just ask you what happened?" And you know, I mean, I'm a fucking idiot now,
Of
but
course.
Me at 20, like, I mean, I'm trying to compare myself to then as if really anything's changed, but like, you know, basketball shorts, and I'm pretty sure I used to just shave my head and I had a dollar
You're
sign.
literally wearing basketball shorts right now.
I had a dollar sign shaved into the back of my head.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
God.
and
What?
So you're cooler.
well, I would just do shit like that while I was drunk.
Yeah.
You know, fucking just drunk constantly, and so I'm sitting there, and she's like, you know, with your wife that died. And I was like, oh, yeah, my wife who died. Yeah, her name was Skyla Dust. And she was stung to death by bees. And she was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yep. Can't be around bees anymore. And I told her and this other girl, and they both believed me. And then fucking Cubis was like, you believe that shit, you fucking idiot?
Yeah.
And then she was like, why did you lie to me? It's like, because you believed it. That's not my fault.
Yeah, because it was fun.
If you believe something like that.
When you first moved to Baltimore, I remember you pretended you had a son.
Oh, yeah,
Remember?
yeah. No, that was just like a Facebook joke.
Right.
And then a bunch of people took it seriously. I told people I had a son. Did you
Yeah,
see
I
that?
remember.
What was the guy's name?
Ronaldo Fink.
Ronaldo Fink Mullen.
Yeah.
I feel like that kid sort of became Nicole Mullen's kid.
Yeah, sort of. It's funny to have like a kid that you don't take care of.
And then the best part, when he died, I remember he linked to, what was that fucking song? R.I.P.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. We just killed the club.
You're like, my son, my
Patrolling
baby
out the-
boy. You
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
wrote this like 2-paragraph thing about your son dying, and then you linked to R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
And people were giving you sincere like sorrow, like fucking apologetic messages. What the
Yeah,
fuck word
people
am I
are
looking
retarded,
for? It was
dude.
so funny.
But that was
People are
before.
so
That was
dumb.
before I had a big internet presence. So like people didn't know.
yeah.
Half my Facebook friends were like people who didn't fucking know me.
I remember people at open mics would be like, God, it's terrible what happened to Nick's son. And I was like, what? You know him
How
in
does that
person.
work?
You know he doesn't
Yeah.
have a fucking son. He's drunk always. He's fucking just drunk driving every night to the apartment where he lives with a fucking
car.
raped clown. You think he's got a child somewhere?
And then I said he died in a beer fire. There was no investigation. Yeah, Tom Myers. When I went to go to that album recording of his,
Oh, yes.
I saw him and he was like, you know, eating his free meal, and he's like, "Oh, congratulations on your son, by the way." I was like, "Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Fuck.
You want to be his godfather?
That would be awesome.
Old Tommy Two Myes.
Fuck. I
Tommy
know.
Ermy.
I need an update on Tom Myers. I got to go back to Baltimore.
Yeah, dude. I
Check up
emailed
on
him.
him.
I was like, "Will you do my podcast? I promise I won't make fun of you."
And what did he
anything?
say?
No, he didn't respond.
I'll ask him.
Yeah.
I can ask him too.
I'll ask him. I won't tell him it's your podcast.
Yeah, of course. I would never.
He'd probably do it if
I don't know
told him.
why he's fucking mad at me. I didn't make fun of him any more than anyone else did.
He literally does not know that everyone makes fun of him. Like he thinks,
No, there's no way he could keep
He's
going.
he's like Mr. Magoo, but for opinions.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
fucking
no.
Tommy.
One of my favorite Tom Myers moments is we were at EJ's Landing.
Hell
and
yes.
He's doing some bit about like how the Orioles suck. And these two guys are like, "Yeah, you want to get out of here?" And they're just like casually take off. He's like, "Oh yeah, you can't take it, huh?" You can't. He's like, they're just like walking out,
Dude.
like, "Have a nice night."
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you can't criticize everybody's team. I understand that. Well, you're just fucking cowards or whatever. And then outside, we were like later that night, we were talking about joke theft, which I feel like if you started comedy in 2005, 2006, that's all you cared about the first 6 months in comedy.
I do remember for some reason starting out and being
fucking hacks,
terrified.
Dude. You know who
someone's
I
gonna
hate
steal my shit.
is hacks. Hacks are the fucking. Then I'm going up. It's like, what if you like fingered a baby? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Awful garbage
I had a
material.
joke. I was afraid people would steal my shit, and one of my jokes was like, I knew I was getting fatter when I started having trouble wiping my own ass. And then I was like, yeah, a couple months ago, maybe I wasn't in the best shape, but my asshole was incredibly clean. That was the joke.
Yeah.
That was like my big...
That was a closer?
yeah, that was like a big... It was a tent pole in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
God, that was so... Dude, I have a fucking... From EJ's Landing, I have a hilarious Tom Myers thing. I was in a contest there. There was just this terrible seafood restaurant where Irwin... We haven't talked about Irwin at all.
Oh, my God.
Who
dude.
is a fucking
That's
gold
going to be
mine.
the next half of the podcast.
Yeah.
That should be...
But-
yeah.
So it was, it's this terrible seafood restaurant that was an open mic, and they would run contests.
Are you good to talk for a second if I go get a coffee?
Yeah, sure.
Nick, can you pour me like 2 sips?
So I'm in this contest, and Tom Myers is on it too, and my little brothers come to see me, and my little brother Nick just does an incredible black guy impression. Like he has like every register of black guy. Like he does a great James Brown. He does just like a great like and so Tom Myers, I go up by whatever, and okay said I'm 6 months into comedy or whatever.
Right.
Then Tom Myers goes up, and he's just doing like jokes about Vietnam. Like he's doing jokes about like Charlie and the Trees and just like the classic Tom Myers bits. And my little brother starts going like, oh hell no. Just like as a black guy. He just starts going like, no thank you. Just heckling him as a black person for some reason, I guess probably being racist. But just like, and Tom is like a little flustered. And to the point where I have to tell him, please, Nick, you got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Like, someone's going to come see, and it's going to be like, I brought the guy heckling, Anyway, so we do this fucking, so we do the contest is over. Tom bombs because my brother is heckling him as a black person. And he's got his jokes or whatever. So then I go up to him just like kind of making small talk. And I'm like, oh, Tom, this was, I was like, oh yeah, there's kind of, whatever the crowd stuff. And he's like, dude, these fucking urban crowds, smart material.
He was talking about your brother.
These urban crowds, smart material goes right over their heads. It was just my brother doing a black guy voice heckling him. It wasn't that it wasn't like black people didn't get his fucking Vietnam jokes. It's like warmed over Bill Hicks shit.
It wasn't even like urban crowds.
There was no black people there. It was my brother doing a black guy voice, and that's how racist he was that he couldn't even just admit he was bombing. It was a 16-year-old white child going like,
Yeah, well,
poor Tom.
yeah, so Tom that night, we were outside talking about joke theft, and he goes, luckily I don't have to worry about that because no one will touch my material with a 10-foot pole. And he says it with this like, no one has the courage
right.
to do his to do his Kennedy stuff. Which Tom, you were born in 1983.
Yeah.